the regular council meeting of the Suez Town Council. That would be Tuesday, October the 25th, 2 p.m. in council chambers. So first off, we will do the approval of the agenda and any late items. No, could we have the approval? Thank you, Councillor Rhodes, Councillor Bennett, all in favor? Thank you. And the adoption of some minutes. That we need it moved and seconded that the regular open minutes from October the 11th be adopted. Councillor King, Councillor Harvey, all in favor? Thank you, that's done. We'll now go down to water matters. And we have the Water Districts 8 and 9 financial accounts. And the expenditures for those two are, as of October 25th, are in the amount of $57,346.50.
So
Thank you. Councillor Appleby, Councillor Morera, all in favor. Thank you, everyone. And now we'll go on to staff reports. And the first one is the Sun Bowl Arena budget highlights. Director Davis.
thank you, Madam Mayor. The recommendation before council is for council to approve the 2023-2027 budget for the Sun Bowl Arena and provide pre-budget approval for the plate and frame chiller at $250,000 to ensure staff can expedite the request for proposal before forwarding to the regional district of Okanagan Similkameen for approval. Staff is preparing a report to review the budget for the Sun Bowl Arena. Once council approves the budget, it will be sent to the RDOS for approval. The RDOS has a 5-year management agreement with the town to operate the arena. As part of this agreement, the town will submit a budget to the RDOS by October 31st of each year. The purchase and installation of a plate and frame chiller is presenting issues. The cost of the chiller requires the town to do a request for proposal. In order to complete an RFP, we will need 3 to 4 weeks to provide proponents an opportunity to gather information and pricing. Once the RFP is closed, and if we can have the chiller ordered by the beginning of December, we should have sufficient time to get the install completed during our shutdown in May. If council approves the pre-budget, the RDOS will need to do the same to ensure the project is completed on time. This budget reflects a 3% increase to the requisitions for 2023 to 2027. There are a number of changes to the operational budget of the Sun Bowl Arena, which are reflected in this budget. And these items include, under the revenues, they've increased by 51.71% or $51,640, for bringing the total operating revenue, not including grants and transfers from governments, to $151,500. Increase in revenue in user groups as we are seeing increased usage post-COVID and numbers are getting back to normal revenues. Rates have been adjusted annually for the CPI and budgeted to increase an estimated 5% in 2023 and 3% in 2024-2026. The junior hockey revenue increase as part of the new agreement, which was passed last council meeting at $575 a game, $300 a month for concession, and they too also have a CPI increase annually. Under the expenditures, it has increased by 10.33% or $63,310, bringing the total operating expenditures, not including capital, to $675,954. In 2024-2027, expenditures have been budgeted to increase by 2.5%. Wages increased by $14,376, which is a 3.56% increase from 2022, which includes a 2% increase as per the collective agreement plus benefits. Increase in utilities by $20,400 to reflect pre-COVID utilization of the facility, plus an increase in rates. Membership dues and fees increase of $2,450, which most of the increase is for employee training and development of $1,960. Administrative expenses of $4,660. The major increases are $2,500 for telephone expense, which includes the internet and Wi-Fi at the arena, as well as $1,300 in bank interest charges due to interest rates increasing. And building repairs and maintenance of $16,280. Building maintenance has increased by $5,000 to offset the increase in materials, and the MFA equipment financing was reduced by $21,280 to reflect the actual debt costs. Under capital expenditures, refrigeration overhaul, $20,000. Plate and frame chiller of $250,000. And it has been presented in the budget that the plate and frame chiller project would be fully funded by Community Works Fund grant for the town's portion of $178,900. Our current funding available from this program is $991,496. The RDOS was contacted by email to inform them about the $71,100 Area A contribution has not yet been determined how they will fund. In terms of the 2023 requisition, as presented, is $386,707, which is an increase of $11,263 or 3% from 2022, making it fairly, on track. In terms of options, number one, for council to approve the 2023-2027 budget for the Sun Bowl Arena and provide pre-budget approval for the plate and frame chiller at $250,000 to ensure staff can expedite the request for proposal before forwarding to the regional district of Okanagan-Similkameen for approval. For council to maintain the 2022 tax requisition levels and reduce the level of service. Option number three, for council to increase the requisition by an additional 2% and reduce the impact utilized from grant funding to allow spending on other projects. Option four, for council to direct staff to make changes and bring back before October 31st. And option five, for council not to approve the budget at this time. In terms of implications for the community, the Sun Bowl Arena has been part of the community for many years, and the youth groups rely on its operation, organizational, the staff working within the approved budget, the actual budget, financial risks and implications, not meeting budget requirements to maintain facilities safely. Significant dates, October 25th, 2022, pre-budget approval for RFP purposes. October 31st, 2022 deadline for the RDOS. And sustainability, maintaining the arena in an efficient and green-friendly manner will help sustain the facility for years to come. And that's my report.
Thank you very much. Council. Yes.
Is that new chiller, would that actually save us money long term or a safety factor
The actual chiller that we're looking at is about half the size of the current one that we have. It will also give us an opportunity to recoup and save energy in the future. So the return on our investment will actually be a lot better for future, for sure.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Anybody else have any concerns? Yes. Go ahead.
I'll move option one.
All right. That's the recommended option, and Councillor Rose is seconding that. There's nothing else, all in favor. Thank you very much, that's carried. Thank you, Mr. Davis.
Thank you very much.
Now we will look at general net payroll and Sun Bowl Arena financial accounts. And as of October the 25th, general cash requirements are in the amount of $501,943.08. Sun Bowl cash requirements of $14,050.08, and net payroll accounts of $136,397.70. So the options are for us to receive these referenced amounts, or two, to request additional information from staff. Would you like to make a motion here on that, Councillor Rhodes? Option one. Thank you. Councillor King seconding that. No questions, all in favor. Thank you, everyone. And now we will look at some bylaws. And the first is the municipal ticket information amendment bylaw. And who's doing that one? Is that Thank you very much.
It was already read.
It was.
Yeah, so this is just for adoption.
All right, so could we have a motion, please, to adopt the live ticket? Thank you, Councillor Rhodes, Councillor King, all in favor. Thank you very much. And new business, no reports, age, accessibility and age friendly committee. I'm wondering if Councillor King would like to have anything to say about this report that's here from September the 8th.
Just the one main thing, I'd like to encourage everybody. This Sunday, the witches on the water will be passing by down by Watermark, but there's also going to be quite a few vendors down there and a few fruit trucks. So I think it'll be a great day with weather. So if you've got nothing else to do on Sunday, please go down and enjoy the fun.
Thank you. And is that being
It'll be at
sponsored,
noon
is that sponsored by the age friendly?
that we're involved.
Okay, good. Okay. Thank you very much. Do we need to receive this this report for information? Are you moving that, Councillor King? Thank you. Councillor Rhodes seconding that. All in favor? Thank you. And now we will have our CAO report, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. A few things going on is we're doing election, and congratulations to those that are gonna be with us for the next 4 years, and I also want to say at this point, congratulations and happy retirement to those that have done a fantastic job in their role of leading the municipality over the last several years. And certainly appreciated, and it's something that I always admire, seeing those that do their part as part of public service. It's not a job that I would ever want to do, and I don't think a lot of people out there realize how difficult your jobs are, but it certainly is appreciated from the administration side. So congratulations and best wishes in your new career life. How do you get it like?
Thanks, Rod.
Thank you. So with the election, we're preparing the council orientation over the next, we have and continue to develop a binder and process to bring everybody up to speed on the new roles and also the budget. From community services, I want to put another plug in for the Halloween Howl, which is on Monday, October 31st. Again, this year's theme is Creepy Carnival, and the event will be held at the Desert Park. There'll be a haunted house and trunk or treating. So, I know this is the second time I've reminded people, but it's an exciting time of the year for the kids, and hopefully they hear this message. The park washrooms have now moved to winter hours and close at 7 p.m. And Cottonwood and Marina washrooms will be open during winter season. And we're looking to the Legion Park. We've heard it's just been completed, so we'll look into that one. The Desert Sun Marina, just reminding people it's going to be closing at the end of the month and will open on April 1st. And financial services, they're basically working on the budget. I don't think that's a surprise. Planning and development services, just wanted to bring to everyone's attention that Urban Systems was the successful consultant firm for the zoning for short-term rentals. RFP, so I know that's something a lot of people are waiting for. And December 13th is the anticipated date for presentation to council and discussion on public consultation opportunities and proposed events. So we're hoping that's gonna kick off in the new year. Wait till maybe late January or February to start that process, and we encourage everyone to provide input when that opportunity is given. Building permits, we only had one new single family dwelling over the past few weeks. Definitely it's slowing down with the season and the economy. Public Works, the Pioneer Walkway fountain was repaired a week or two ago, so that's great news. Apologize to the public and their visitors. It's been a while. Unfortunately, it is difficult to get parts. We're finding that in numerous projects, but it is now up and running and looks great again. Legion Beach, which was announced this morning, that's going to be completed by the end of the week. So that's great news. The 85th Street Pedestrian Plaza is been on our books for a bit, but preliminary design complete, and that's gonna come forward to council here, in short order. And a bit of negative news, again, it's the beach clearing, although it's not essential, but the machine is still down, we're waiting for parts, so. Unfortunately, this is just something that's happening in not only the municipal world, but in the private sector as well. It's very difficult to get parts and labor, et cetera. So it's something that we continually be cognizant of, and I guess are preparing and planning. We'll hopefully do better on some things as far as maybe pre-planning on a couple things, but I think it's something that's going to be here for the next year or two anyways, and something that's hopefully our community is understanding on. So that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Risling. Could we have a motion to have the CAO report received, please? Councillor Bennett, Councillor King, all in favor. Thank you very much. And we will now go on to council reports, and Councillor Harvey, you're up.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. And so ends my first and only term as a municipal councillor. I will say that the experience has been, generally very interesting, sometimes very challenging, and on occasion rewarding. On some occasions less so, as we all know. I want to say it's been a pleasure to work with this council, and I thank you all for your commitment to service to this town. I also want to thank staff, generally all staff, for their commitment to service. But as far as staff, especially those generally senior staff who present to council with the necessary information and support to allow council to make good, informed decisions. Finally, I want to thank the residents of the town for their trust and support over these past 4 years. And yeah, I wish all the best for a prosperous and vibrant town of Vesuvius for years to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Director, Councillor Harvey. I can call you Director. Councillor Harvey, thank you for those nice words. Councillor Rhodes, you're next.
Thank you, Mayor Kordoff. Well, I'm going to start off today with congratulations to yourself, Jim, Myers, Zach, and Johnny. I think that the election process and the campaigning that we went through over the last few weeks, there was an awful lot of really contentious issues, but I think at the end of the day, that the voting public, the people that went out and cast their vote, made the right decisions. And I'm really, really happy it turned out the way it did. And my original intention was to come here and rant and rave about all the crappy things that went on during the campaign. But I wanted to draw one thing in particular, and that's the comment about the comparison of Vesuvius to a third world country. That just burned me, and it still bothers me every day. My view of Vesuvius is that it is an absolutely incredibly beautiful community in a wonderful part of the world, filled with great people that care about their community. And just standing out in your backyard and looking around, you can see what you have here. And I think really that's the way most people in Vesuvius actually feel about their community. I don't understand what the comment was all about. I don't really care anymore, because I feel confident in saying that this is probably one of the best communities to live in all of Canada, if not the whole world. And if you took 1,000 people from anywhere in the world and lined them up against the wall and made them tell the truth, they'd probably say they'd like to live here. And that's how I've always felt about this community. I just wanted to mention a couple of things that I kind of feel were highlights of my 4 terms on council. The very first one is what was termed Northwest Sewer Project. Back in the day through 2004 until about 2010, the town of Vesuvius and everybody that was represented that particular project took 121 septic fields off and put them into a proper sewage treatment process that we go through here. Tremendously huge, unbelievably engineered project. Huge money and that kind of thing, and I've always been kind of proud that I was able to be a part of that particular thing. Just moving a little bit more forward, I was able to sit as chair of the waterfront steering committee in Vesuvius. And we kind of took the whole Gyro Park area. Some of the folks that have been living around here for years will understand what it was before and what it is now. Some people are still regretful of the way that we changed that. But what we did really was make it something that is a central focus in our community. It's very user friendly. People like it. They like to go there and hang around. And we got the band shell and all that kind of stuff on there. So I've always been quite proud of that. Finally, I gotta say that I have never in my entire lifetime ever met a dog I didn't like. As a matter of fact, I like a lot of dogs more than a lot of people that I've met in my life. And I'm really, really proud of the dog park development that we've gone through in our community. We really didn't have anything before. A couple of local residents, Pitch Council and Tensley, they brought, you know, a full-on, very professional presentation to council, and right away I just kind of, you know, because of my love of dogs and that kind of thing. And so, you know, through their help and their guidance and the people that sat on that particular committee, you know, we've created a couple of dog parks. If you're not a dog lover, you never pay attention to it, but they're pretty darn good. And we have several of them. Dogs can go swimming in our lake in controlled circumstances. I've always been really, really proud of that particular thing in our community. Finally, this community lost a resident recently. Jim Harrington was, how can I say it? Go on social media. There is a Facebook page on there. There are thousands of accolades about his involvement in our community, how he mentored young people, how he got along with everybody. And I was not a friend of Jim's because I was not really acquainted with him. I knew him quite well. He provided so much help for myself personally, just because of his involvement in the community and that kind of thing. And it's a huge loss for our community. One of my family members, he mentored him through some things when he was still with the Sun Bowl Arena, you know, ballers and that kind of thing. I've always been very grateful for him. And I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that in this environment, because he was just a great guy and everybody liked him, and he contributed to this community in such a positive way that it would take 3/4 of an hour to make a list without it all. So, yeah, that's my report for today.
Thank you very much, Councillor Rhodes. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I'm glad you brought up about Jim Harrington, because he was absolutely a great volunteer. He was also for 25 years our recreational services director, and he did a great job. I can remember he lived across the street from the arena for so many years. Just moved fairly recently, and he would walk over there to attend hockey games and skating recitals and all when it was his day off, because he was so in tune with everything that went on over there. Yeah, he will be missed for sure. Thank you. Councillor King.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. Attended the Accessibility and Age Friendly Committee last week, and I just want to do a shout out to all the volunteers that sit on that committee. We accomplished a lot this past year, and hopefully you keep an eye out. Director Davis will be putting an ad out looking for new volunteers if you're interested in taking part. I'd also want to wish Councillor Rhodes and Councillor Harvey the best in the future. Hopefully they do get back to town sometime in the next 4 years. If they can go for coffee, it would be great. And with that, and the Witches on the Lake on the 30th starts at around noon down at Gyro Park in front of Watermark. Not only will they be paddleboarding by on the lake, but there's a few vendors and food trucks down there, so you can make a great afternoon for the kids. Thank you.
Thank you. Hope it doesn't rain. And if it was weather like today, it would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
No rain.
Thank you. Councillor Bennett.
It's a short report. Basically, Trails of the Okanagan, we had our AGM last week and got back on the board and we welcomed the new director, Tim Lazard from the Penticton Band to join, which is huge. Also, May next week in Washington State with their group of directors. And basically RDLS has agreed to provide some trail signs to bring the trail into the slates. We're just waiting for Director Davies to find the preferred locations and where they want to put them. And basically, ending, Jim Harrington, what a wonderful man. I hope we can do something for him. And I really want to thank CJ and Brian. It's been a real pleasure working with you guys, and I'm gonna miss it.
Thank you. So, can I just say that I'm happy the election is over? It was a very stressful month, for many people, and, I'm very pleased to have Councillor King and Councillor Bennett and I on council again, and look forward to working with Zach Quadrica and Johnny Chung as well, and I think we will have a good council. I was at a special event at Watermark last week. The new executive director, David McBean, was introduced to many of us, and the CAO was there as well as, and so was Councillor King. It was a very nice event where they talked a little bit about what Watermark had done and when they started, and the number of people that were owners were there as well. And so we were happy to be included in that event. I was at the Legion the other day to have the first poppy. I think there's a protocol that after the Governor General has a poppy pinned on her, you have to have somebody, often the mayor, I think, in towns who has the poppy pinned on. And I have one here, which has really handy. It has one of those pins that you put in the middle, so you're not always losing it. And so I appreciated that. I also have the Indigenous poppy on here that I was given by the Legion. So, and we also did a proclamation this morning. National Poppy Week is the 4th to the 11th of November. But they can start selling poppies on the streets right now, so you will see that. That's one of their big fundraisers. The water forum is on Thursday afternoon and Friday and Saturday. It is at the Sonora Center, and you can certainly attend if you would like. We encourage local people to attend. There are tons and tons of information, water issues. The theme is the heart of the watershed, bridging Indigenous and Western approaches to knowledge, science, and management. And there will be people from all over the United States, the International Joint Commission, and people from all up and down the valley, and also down at the coast. So it'll be a very interesting time. Please go on Okanagan Basin Water Board website and sign up if you'd like to attend. This weekend, there are several things on, not only the Halloween Howl on Monday night, and is it Candy in a Trunk or something like that? That's all at Desert Park. Trick or treat, yeah, but there's two things on. One is at the Desert Park site where and one's at the Desert Park. Yeah, so 2 plus during the day, there is Halloween Main Street. And that is done, I think, by the credit union. And not all businesses are open on a Monday, but if they are open, then they're offering Halloween treats for kids. So that's nice to see that, because I think it was canceled for a couple of years because of COVID. So lots of things on, plus there's the witches on the paddleboarding on Sunday. So lots of things to do. And finally, I just want to say, I'm going to get all weepy, how how much I've appreciated the support from staff, the support from council. And we have had, I think, a really good past 4 years. I'm certainly looking forward to the next 4. But I think it kind of showed, we got lots of things accomplished, working with staff and working with council. They didn't always take as short a time as we thought they should. But I remember somebody from the paper saying, you know, it's kind of boring at your meetings because you mostly agree on things and you vote in favor of them. And he said, I wondered if there would be more controversy. And so I said, you know, I think that's a credit to all of council that they have good reports coming to them. They ask questions if they have concerns. And we do our homework and figure out what is important, and we will ask questions beforehand. We don't come to a meeting and then start being concerned about things. So by the time the motion comes to the meeting, usually we've thought about it carefully. We've looked at all the angles and we can agree with that because we certainly depend on the good work from our staff to give us what we need in order to make good policy and good decisions. So I just want to thank all Brian, CJ, Myers, and Jim for a great 4 years. And I look forward to the next 4 with Myers and Jim for sure. We will miss Brian and CJ and their interaction and their comments, and they're keeping us on task. That is great, and certainly appreciate all our staff. So thank you all, because it takes a village, or it takes a town, takes town hall and all the people who work here to keep this going. And CJ, I have to agree with you, this is probably one of the best places in the world to live. And I'm not sure there would be many people that disagree. And if they did disagree and they really didn't like moving here, I know of somebody who has a truck and a big trailer that could move them. Thank you. So thank you all. Now, before we close the meeting, we have one more business item to deal with. And this is from the in-camera meeting of October the 11th, 2022. And it is section 91 F and G, enforcement and litigation, short-term rental infraction of 5 Chardonnay Court. And this, we need a motion and a mover and a seconder, please, to have the following motion released and be read today. Councillor King, Councillor Rhodes, all in favor. So I will read the motion. The motion is moved by Councillor Rhodes, seconded by Councillor Bennett on October the 11th, that council authorizes staff to take all measures necessary to bring the property with a civic address of 5 Chardonnay Court into compliance with town bylaws, including the commencement of legal proceedings. And that was carried. So do we need anything else? No, we're good. Oh, sorry. Did you want to say something?
Well, so if I know this has been a hot topic in the community the last little while, especially since the last couple of years. And I know administration has been working on this, diligently especially the last couple of months. I think sometimes the public doesn't realize how long some of these things do take administratively to address. And I think this was the first step in dealing with one of our more one of the properties that has raised to the surface, and so I just want to express that we are dealing with some of these issues, probably not as fast as a lot of people would like, but there is some action taken, and I want to give accolades to myself and then our team for dealing with it. I know it has been tough, and also want to encourage people again to get involved in the consultation process that's going to start in early 2023, so we can hear from people and provide that information to council to determine what our next steps will be with regards to some of these short-term rentals. So I want to thank staff, I want to thank council for the patience, but we've also received a lot of complaints and comments with regards to some of these areas, and we're going to continue to address those that are we're on that fringe or the higher risk ones, and looking forward to some open dialogue and good discussion in the new year. So thank you.
Thank you. So this is a very positive step forward in dealing with that. So we have come to the end of our council meeting. Councillor King, are you going to continue on with this, or will we move it to somebody else going to take over the termination duty?
Someone else can do it. Okay, Councillor Rose to finish out the year.
Well, the two you wanna take over, we better be not sitting here then.
We're waiting for dinner.
That's something.
So Councillor Rhodes is moving to terminate the meeting. Councillor Harvey is seconding that. Thank you very much. All in favor?